Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Big Mood.
Wow.
Hi. I'm in a fucking mood right now. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I opened like
that. We have a guest.
Tighten up,
Jess.
Tightening up. We have a very special guest, one of our favorite returning guests, Mrs. Stacey Diaz.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
We haven't seen your face in a while, so we're really
I literally feel like I saw you guys not that long ago.
No, it's been a while.
We haven't seen you in 2021, I don't think.
No way.
Nuh-uh.
I did come back in 2021.
I think we did
Is
the
that
Pick
true?
Me Girl video.
Yeah,
early
2021.
Early, like,
Listen,
March or
I have no memory the other way where I'm like, I haven't seen you in years. Stacey's like, you could have said I saw you last month and I believe it.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I do miss you guys. I'm happy to be back.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
We also have Miss Gina Darling back
Miss
in the
New
room.
Boobies Gina
Miss
Darling.
New
Yes.
Boobies.
We have two new guests.
You know, I'm a little bit upset that I can't really see them, and we had to go through all of this of you being gone.
Show them. Pixar didn't happen, honestly.
I'm still healing a little bit.
Still sore.
Man, my nipples are sore as hell.
Mine too, and I didn't even get my boobs done.
Oh, I feel like is this what it feels like when you have to breastfeed and women always say it fucking hurts like shit?
None of us would know
Breastfeeding?
except
Yeah,
Tiff.
only
I don't
Tiff
know.
knows.
She's not here.
Right?
She's giving a very neutral face. We don't know. We
Yeah.
can't read her.
We'll never find out.
My nipples are so sore I can't even put a blanket over them sometimes.
Oh my God.
no.
Yeah.
One time I
Jesus.
boogie boarded too long and I couldn't put shirts on because my nipples were so shaved.
Oh my God.
You only have to learn that lesson once.
They all cracked.
Boogie boarding. Jesus. Okay, well, today the episode that we wanted to do is an unpopular opinions because, you know, we like to all give our opinions on everything.
And we have like pretty diverse perspectives
We do.
of opinions.
We do.
Yeah.
And Stacey is great at giving her opinion on things. She has an opinion on a lot of things, which first of all is good for entertainment because she actually
Thank
has
you.
an opinion.
Yeah.
And she has good opinions too and a lot of
thank
insight.
you.
So
There was this one episode you were on that I didn't get to be on with you, but I was like, you had an unpopular opinion, and I was agreeing with you from
I
behind
know
the
what
camera.
that
And I
unpopular
just wanted
opinion
to
is
jump
right
in.
now.
Which one was that?
We'll save it.
Yeah.
We'll save it.
I'll give it to you when we're in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd also like to say that all of our opinions are correct no matter what anyone says.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, if
So
you
don't
follow-
Even
argue.
if they're different.
If you
Yeah.
follow my
Yeah.
Instagram story, like half of my memes are like, "Oh, I was right and I knew it," or "I'm right." I always know I'm right. Me watching you Google me to know that I'm right. I'm always right. So, do you guys have any of your own? Because we took some audience submissions, so I
Go
do
with
have
the audience
submissions.
first, and then
Wait. Can I start off?
Yes.
I feel it in
Give
my
us a
heart.
good one.
No,
Give us a
because
good
you
one.
guys, I have been thinking about this, and I was like, should I make a TikTok about it? Should I make a whole video? But I really was like, this is a perfect moment.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
all of you know, because you've seen me, but maybe your audience does saying, I'm tall. I'm 5'10".
Yes.
I hate, and it's like, I love all of you, but when people tell me, oh my God, you're so tall, what do I do with that information?
You're like, oh shit.
What
did anyone tell me?
What? And so my unpopular opinion is, what is the point of telling somebody that?
I think it's like I think it's when people just don't know what to say, like when they're like
Don't
surprised.
say anything.
I know they
I think
shouldn't say anything.
Do you feel different if people are like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty"?
No, that's right.
So, do you feel like? Why do you feel like you take that differently than? Oh my God, you're so pretty. Why do you take it differently?
I think because you're so tall, people don't really mean it like you're so pretty. You're so tall is like a shock value, like, and you're so pretty is like admiration.
Or
I
do you
find-
think
oh.
it's because like pretty stuff can be adjusted because how you do your makeup and your hair and stuff, and your tall is not something that's like going up to me saying, "Wow, you're so Asian."
And it's like, yeah, nobody says that about anything else. I've never gone up to someone and been like, oh my God, you're so fat.
Right.
Or, oh my God, your hair's so dark. Why do you point that out?
Yeah, Steve can relate to you because he's pretty tall and people say
He's
that all the
6'4".
time. He's 6'4", and he's like, fuck yeah, I am. But yeah, that is a weird
For a
thing.
guy, I guess maybe they love hearing that, but maybe do you
Right.
think because you're
It's
a
just
woman,
annoying. And no,
Okay.
not anyone specifically,
Yeah.
but it's just like, what is the point of telling a tall
Yeah.
person that?
Yeah, they
And
already
then
know.
What am I supposed to do? What
Go,
do I
"Thank
say?
you?"
What do I say?
Yeah.
I'm always like,
Yes, I am.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I guess I get that. Well, for me, I don't see, oh my God, you're so tall as a bad thing because I actually really love when women are super
Yeah.
tall.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just awkward.
It's just like
if I
strange thing to say.
Yeah, if I came up to you and I was like, oh my God, you're so white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We say
What are
that
you
to
gonna
her
do
all the
with that?
time.
Oh,
shit.
We do.
Yeah. People do tell me that all the
She's
time.
very reflective.
Yeah. It's constant jokes about how pale I am. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's just she's our token white person. So
So what
we
happens
have
if
to
you
let her
go
know.
up to a guy and you're like, "Oh my God, you're so short"?
Right. What would he do?
He would be pissed.
He'd be pissed. Yeah. This is gonna sound like a backwards compliment, or like it sounds like I'm bragging, a humble brag.
Okay.
But okay, it used to bug me, and I swear it did really bug me. I'm not just bringing this up, but when people would be like, your eyelashes are so long, what mascara do you use?
Okay.
And
Calm down.
and I know that sounds
Calm
like a humble
down.
brag, but they legit wanted me to give them my mascara brand that I use, and I wanted to be like, girl, it's just like it just is. It's not gonna matter what mascara I tell you.
Okay,
And
unpopular
I am bragging.
opinion.
Okay, so like,
Unpopular opinion, actually very popular opinion. No one wants to hear you brag about your fucking lashes.
unpopular opinion. Everyone wants to hear me brag. Everyone in the comments, they're all like, I'm
perfect
so
fucking
glad
lashes.
that Nikki brought that up because I love hearing her brag.
I'm just gonna say, and I've said this for years, Bohemian Rhapsody is a terrible song.
Fuck you, bitch.
No way.
You can get out. Get out. This is my house and you can get
What did I
out.
say before? It was correct. Why is it a terrible song? Because it's like someone made a song, couldn't decide what it wanted to be 4 times in the middle
That's
of the
what's
fucking
great
song.
about it.
Yeah.
And no. And then he's just like, no, it makes it great because I'm displaying all of my skills. It's like, no, you just couldn't pick one
How
song.
dare
And
you.
then whoever chooses Bohemian Rhapsody during karaoke is so fucking selfish.
Everyone
because
likes it.
it's like 30
That's
hours
the song
long.
We all
everyone
join in.
knows.
We love joining in.
And it's just like pick a genre and stick. Like pick a song.
Why are you
and
so
stick with
boring?
it.
what's
dude.
your
It's just
karaoke
like-
song? What's your karaoke song?
Barbie Girl. Okay, it's
Ew.
a fun song. You get to make funny voices. You make the guy sing
Bohemian
the
Rhapsody
Barbie
or Barbie
part.
Girl?
You know,
No one fucking wants to hear Barbie Girl.
everyone loves
That's
to sing
the
You're
Barbie
the
Girl.
worst
annoying
song
drunk bitch
ever
that
made.
everyone's like, ugh. We're the fun crowd that gets Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's like I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, there's another. And it's changing again. When is this over? Like
We wait for those parts. We're like, here
Yeah.
comes this
about
part.
this.
It's like a movie
Selfish.
in a song.
If I wanted a movie, I'd go watch a movie.
It's a classic.
It is. I know it's a
You
classic.
can't change
but
classics.
Can't do it.
How dare you? I'm insulted.
You know what? Just get the fuck out. I don't even want to do the rest of this episode now because I want you to get the fuck
Get
out.
new
I'm
boobs.
nailing this right now. I'm doing my job real good.
It's got a lot of emotion.
Yeah. No, thank
Bohemian
you. Don't ever say that in a
Rhapsody.
room with any white person ever again.
That's true. That's their culture.
Yeah, that is
true.
my
It's part of
culture,
their
and I'm
culture.
very offended.
White people love that shit.
We do. Don't fucking say shit about Journey. If you say shit about
I
Journey,
do like
my
Journey.
God.
They got a Filipino
Yeah.
singer now? Okay.
Yeah.
So.
100% now. I do like Journey.
oh my god. Okay, we need to move on because I'm heated.
Oh my God.
Okay,
I'm waiting for the Just Rage to come out. I'm so excited.
this is an audience submission here. We're gonna keep everyone anonymous,
Hip-hop
anonymous, because we
anonymous?
don't know if they want us to share who they are or not. But this one just says, I haven't really gone through these. Tiff picked these and shot them over to me. So this one says, I hope you guys see this. Oh my god, because I don't see this topic talked about that much. So she's very excited. Marriage isn't necessarily for a long-lasting, strong relationship. That was in quotes. Marriage isn't necessary for a long-lasting, strong relationship.
True, but if you want those tax breaks and you're going to be long term anyway, like, why not?
Yeah, and then like if someone dies or whatever, I want to be taken care of.
I feel like that's not that unpopular. People in the United
Yeah.
States are
Yeah.
not married. A lot of people don't get married.
Well, I mean, obviously, marriage is still a very contentious subject. She's just saying, I just don't see, not yet at least, how a contract strengthens your relationship other than legal and financial stuff. But I think I'd love my partner the same or even more.
True.
Not being married.
You will love them more, but if you're already all the way in, why not just get married?
Yeah, I will say me and Steve were like so like dead. We're going to be together forever, right? Before we got married.
Yeah.
And when we got married, I didn't think it could get better. It got way better. I felt like we started actually operating like a unit, like before we were like supportive of each other and
Yeah.
complimentary, but
it
like
adds something.
for some reason, subconscious thing, like we really started acting as like a unit after that.
And it's the highest level of commitment.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, yeah, we're going to be together forever, but you don't want to get married? Why?
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
that's
that's
shady, like,
weird.
why?
Yeah.
I would want to know more why someone doesn't want to get married. Like, I guess it's,
What comes up for you if you don't want to get married?
yeah, like what's the issue? Like, but there's times where I could see where marriage could fuck people over, obviously, financially. That's the biggest thing. But if you take that out of it, not
So that's-
assuming everyone's a fucked up person.
I guess that's what it's saying is like, I trust you not to fuck me over.
Yeah.
For sure. That's a whole relationship. even having a relationship with someone is saying, here's my heart, please be careful.
And now it's like, here's all my finances too. Please fucking be careful.
Do you think
Marriage is scary. Oh my God.
Do you think
that's
you
a
could
lot.
reach the pinnacle of your relationship without taking that step? Like, do you think you could really fully have the fullest
There's people
life
who
and
do.
relationship
Yeah,
without
I think
it?
that's a all personal preference. For me, like Steve and I have both been like pretty traditional people, so we always wanted to get married like since we were little, and our parents are both married and have stayed married, so I think we weren't, you know, a lot of kids that came from divorced families like maybe don't necessarily see marriage as a stable thing, but we both came from like stable marriages, so we were always like, we want to get married to that person. So yeah, it's all definitely personal preference.
Wow.
But
What's that like?
Huh.
I know, yeah.
I
You're
didn't
like,
even
a
know
lot
it
of
was
kids-
weird. I have long eyelashes and I came from a stable marriage.
Right? I'm happily married.
Disgusting.
I'm like, I have short lashes and my parents are divorced.
I'm a bitch.
And I've been in therapy for years because of it.
I've still been in therapy for years.
But I mean, yeah, marriage is great. And I've like, even you saying like, oh, you know, it is very unstable when you do come from a broken family. You have to fight and kind of rewire your brain to
Yes.
think this is something that could possibly be good and it's not going to fall apart just because in my parents it did.
Yeah.
You know, so it like there was a point where I even questioned, why do I want to get married? It's a lot more complicated. There are finances, like it's weird. But then when you're fully in love, like I am now, you're just like, you know what, fuck it. Like whatever the money is, whatever the finances are, it's the biggest contract or one of the biggest contracts we're all going to sign in our lives. But when you love the person, you're just like, it is what it is. I love him so much. And if it's important to one person, then you compromise to make it important for both. Because that's what relationships are.
Would you get a prenup?
Hot topic. That's a hot topic.
Right.
That is an unpopular opinion.
I think it depends on the relationship. I don't know. Gina, would you get a prenup?
Listen, if I'm taking myself off the market and I'm gonna have your kids and I'm gonna destroy my body, I gotta take care of this fucking kid and all that shit, I'm not signing no fucking prenup.
I'm taking
What
your
if
money.
you have the money?
Yeah, you're.
What if I have the
you
money?
have
Got some
money.
money, girl.
What if you marry
He
a
could
guy
take
who's
your
not
money.
I don't need a
entertainment?
prenup. I just need a hitman.
Dead.
Hello? Modern problems?
Get some life insurance.
Modern
You're
solution.
good. Yeah.
No, but like, let's say you're the one with the money and like you just marry a dude that, I mean, everybody's normal, but you marry a dude who has a 9 to 5 and he's not super successful. He's successful, but you know,
He makes
average,
less.
There's a
than you.
disparity
the
in
average
the income.
I feel is like 55K, I think. So
I think my prenup would be like, yo, like, it will be written like if someone cheats,
Yeah.
they don't get shit.
Yeah,
yeah,
I like that prenup.
like because your prenup can be very, very detailed.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be very detailed, whatever drawn out.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna sign one with my husband and be like, if we get divorced, you get 50% of half or anything for like no reason at
Yeah.
all. Mine's gonna be very, very cut.
Well, there's
out,
a lot
carved
of
out.
states too where like even if you have a very detailed prenup after like a certain number of years you've been married, it kind of goes null anyway, and
Yeah.
you have to do a postnup and like re-sign the contract
Really?
again.
Yeah.
So like
There's, like, a
prenups
statute of
can
limitations?
expire in certain states, I believe. So
wow.
I would definitely sign a prenup.
My opinion on this is if when you got together, there was a huge income disparity or
Yeah.
like a huge asset
Yeah.
disparity, and you're truly in love and getting married for the right reasons, then a prenup shouldn't matter. Like sign the prenup because who cares? You're
Yeah.
not planning on getting
Yeah, for
divorced.
sure.
But if you guys are both at the same income level, like why go through the extra step?
I
Like
think
it
if you're
doesn't-
gonna like get money from your parents when they pass, or if you're gonna get houses passed down to you that had nothing to do
With them.
then yeah, sure, sign the prenup. But I feel like we're both pretty even, like my partner and I. So I'm like,
Yeah.
well, let's build together. It's not like I have a house. Like I have my businesses, but thankfully those are registered under their own, you know. So if
he could still,
he could, but I mean,
Yeah.
at that point,
yeah.
stressful.
I think everyone should get one just because it's better to state now when you're in love and everything's fine what you would
Yeah.
want
Until-
to happen when it ends, because people do change when they're pissed off.
You know what I
for
think is more
sure.
fucked up is when one person's like hella in debt and then you
Yeah.
inherit their debt from the
for sure
marriage.
get a
Yeah.
prenup then.
And also when you're married and someone like we see in this, I don't know if anyone follows the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but so this lawyer was like stealing money from his clients, I guess, and now his wife is getting thrown into it. Like, was she involved? Like, because they're married, so it's like she's kind of taking on his like criminal fucking charges, maybe, you know. So it's,
Okay, if you put it that way, okay, maybe I will.
I feel like being married is risky, so there just should be a lot of like shouldn't be any reason why you can't put things on paper, regardless.
Yeah.
I will say though, like if there is a prenup, I get to keep all my shoes because I have Rothy's.
Yeah,
And I don't want them to take my Rothy's. It's 2021 and nobody has time for uncomfortable shoes. And that's where Rothy's come in. Their styles are sustainably made with materials like plastic water bottles. It's fully machine washable and available in tons of shapes, styles, and colors. So you can always find the right one for you.
They're so comfortable.
Yeah, I got the red pointy ones.
Me too.
Ooh, cute. I got the tennis shoes.
My little pop of color. Start summer off on the right foot with comfortable bestseller flats, loafers, and sneakers from Rothy's. With sandals in an array of colors to shoes. Why can't I read today?
Did they surgery your eyes?
It's weird, right? Surgery in my brain. Oh my God. With sandals in an array of colors to shoes made for exploring, their newest styles have you covered. Plus, their spacious washable bags are perfect for summer getaways. Rothy's also recently launched a men's line that are durable, washable, and created with nearly zero waste.
Oh, you know, men need some washable shoes.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh.
Step up your summer wardrobe with washable, sustainable, stylish shoes and bags from Rothy's. Head to rothys.com/bigmood to find your new favorites today. Again, that's ROTHYS.com/bigmood.
And if we were to get a prenup, I would want the mattress because it's so comfortable.
Oh my goodness.
Purple is our sponsor today for mattresses, and so freaking comfortable. They got the what is that? The egg thing,
purple grid?
the grid. Yeah, the
Yes.
grid. It's a stretchy gel material that's amazingly supportive for your back and legs. I got back issues, so it's hella comfortable for that.
Yeah,
and then
scoliosis.
yeah, I have scoliosis, and it's like this kind that goes like this, and I have like tension there. It's a whole deal. I'm old anyway. It cushions your
It's
shoulder.
a Hot Wheels racetrack back there.
Because of how it's designed too, the grid doesn't trap air. Air actually circulates and flows through it, so you'll never overheat if you're one of those sweaty sleepers like my husband. The grid bounces back as you move and shift, unlike memory foam, which remembers everything, remembers too much. That's why memory foam has craters and divots. And right now you can try your Purple mattress risk-free with free shipping and returns. Financing is also available. So Purple really is for comfort for an uncomfortable world. Right now you'll get 10% off any order of $200 or more. Go to purple.com/bigmood10 and use promo code bigmood10. That's purple.com/bigmood10, promo code bigmood10 for 10% off any order of $200 or more. Purple.com/bigmood10, promo code bigmood10, terms apply. All right, give me an unpopular opinion.
Okay, you want another one?
Yeah, hit me. I want to see you get mad. Which ones are making
Raisin
you
Cane's
mad?
is garbage. Go ahead.
Oh,
You're
agreed.
lying.
The people on the East Coast have no fucking taste buds. That shit is trash.
What is it?
Also,
Raisin
that
Cane's?
sauce. Oops, I hit the mic. That sauce that it comes with. Huh?
Yeah.
Raisin Cane's?
Raisin Cane's is just a fast food chain for chicken strips.
Is it from the East Coast?
It is so good. Their bread is so good.
It's just thick bread. It's big bread. That's all.
It is not
It's
just
bread, but
big
big.
bread, girl.
Big
It is toasted. It's delicious.
Maybe I haven't gone to the right location.
They all taste
but
the same. They're good.
It gives me a stomach
I didn't
ache.
even know what you guys are
Basic
talking about.
dry convention center chicken strips.
With that boring ass sauce that everyone's into.
Boring sauce and just big
Boring
bread.
sauce. No thanks.
Big boy bread.
Big boy bread. Texas toast is what they call it.
Really?
Oh, that
Yeah.
thick. Oh,
That's what I'm
no.
saying. It's just
No.
thick bread.
No.
It's so good.
No, I can't
I think
do that.
I'm gonna have to try it again because
Too
I've
soaked
only
with
had it
butter.
like 4 years ago and I was like, I'm never coming back. But maybe I should try it again because people like it. I don't get
I
it.
love it.
Nikki, what was? She's like fake vomiting over here. I'm trying
Gina.
to find one that would piss me off, but I haven't.
You were
gone
getting
through
heated
these.
reading through them.
Just give us one. Give us
Okay,
one for
we're
right
gonna
now.
give us one right now. Let's see.
Unless Raisin Cane's wants to sponsor us, in that case, it's fine.
Oh yeah, you
delicious.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
like the
think they
best
really
beverage
do
ever.
podcast sponsorship.
I had an opinion before the shoot started, but that Jess wanted me to say on camera, but she didn't even know what it was. And now I don't know if she wants me to say it, but I don't know if it's unpopular. It's just an opinion that I realized that everyone on the show is either a water sign or a fire sign. And every guest that has been really liked on the show has been a water sign or a fire sign.
Oh.
Prove me
We
wrong.
haven't had that many guests.
Well,
That is high.
they've all been water signs or fire signs.
I'm a fire sign, you guys.
Yeah.
Same.
See?
Nikki
Point
Blades
proven
is a water sign. Okay.
Tim Delgado, water sign.
Wait, you're a fire sign, right?
I am fire through
Fire
and through.
sign.
Double fire, you guys.
Who else do we have? Kat, fire sign.
Oh.
She's Leo.
Oh.
Wait,
Okay.
maybe she's Cancer.
No, she's not Cancer.
Wait,
Wait.
she's
Is
I
she?
think she's a Leo.
4th of July. Oh, wait.
Oh, 4th of July is
Oh,
Cancer.
wait,
That's Cancer.
Oh,
Yeah.
she is a Cancer. Okay, water sign. Okay, well, that was my unpopular opinion. That was stupid, but
Yeah, prove me
Thank
wrong.
you, crazy crystal lady.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I love
Stacey's
you.
here. She likes that shit.
I
So
know. Stacey loves it too. I know.
I do.
I'm
we
kidding.
looked up Jess's shit, and like Stacey was like, "Damn,
She's
you're
all Cancer?
emotion."
She's all Cancer. And then what was your Gemini rising, you guys?
I'm a Gemini rising.
I know. We're out here surviving. I'm out here surviving.
It's hard out here for
I'm
us.
out here
I don't know what that
surviving.
means.
I just
filled
need
with water.
stability. And
Yeah, okay.
Gemini rising.
Hey, is your partner an Earth sign?
No, he's a water sign.
Oh,
He's a
okay.
Cancer.
Oh
I love Cancers.
shit. So sex is
We do
good, but
great.
you guys get in heated arguments.
We hardly ever get in heated arguments.
Oh.
Yeah. I think
He lets
because-
you win.
No, I think it's because I've been through so much therapy that
Oh,
now
okay.
I'm just like I'm an evolved Aries. You know, I'm pretty
You've
self-aware.
evolved to the final form. You're Phoenix.
No, I'm not a Phoenix yet. You know, but I choose my fights.
That's good.
You know.
All the Aries men I've known have been absolute trash. but
Yeah.
Aries women have so far been okay.
That's same with Leo guys. Haven't got along with them, but Leo women super get along with them.
Thanks.
Yeah. Fire sign women.
It seems like men are the problem.
Men are.
Yeah. So in conclusion,
Don't get me started.
so in conclusion,
Anyway, we're gonna move on.
Okay.
Okay, so this girl says college is only worth it if you know your specific career path. I think college
Agree.
is a waste of
Agree.
money if
I
it's
could
for
get
something you
behind
don't
this.
necessarily need.
I could get behind this.
Yeah, I saw someone sent me a DM directly. She didn't read the assignment and sent me directly
so it's
to
good
my
that she didn't go to
DMs.
college.
No, but this other one was a teacher actually, specifically like I think middle school or elementary school teacher or something. But she was just saying like, I hate that we have to push all of our students directly into the college path because she knows that like not everyone needs the college degree. We actually still need a lot of technical skill type of people.
Or sometimes people realize what they want to do later and they already chose the wrong major. Like after they graduated,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, actually I wanted to study this, but they spent all this money on studying the wrong thing.
I feel like they kind of bamboozled us into believing that it was like a path directly to success. And I didn't finish college, but there are so many people who are in so much debt. Like there was a point, so I went to Pasadena City College. When I transferred to Cal State LA, I stopped playing volleyball. So when I was playing volleyball, it was really fun because I was basically going to school to play.
Yeah.
And then when that motivating factor was taken out, when I just transferred to go to school, I was like, this is boring. I hate school. Like it's not fun. It's not something I enjoy doing. And
I don't think it's supposed to be fun though.
but I mean, it's supposed to at least, like there are people who enjoy it.
Or fulfill something.
Yeah, like they feel very fulfilled by it. And there was a point I remember when I was in class and I spent the 2-hour class on Instagram and the teacher was just like blankly staring at nothing, obviously not very passionate about his job. And I was like, what am I doing here? Like I'm leaving. I'm never coming back.
Well, you had a bad
literally.
experience, I think.
Well, here's my theory is like, if you look at college, what it's supposed to be is an investment in your career.
Right.
It's supposed to train you at a higher level to then you go in your career and you make all that money back. It pays for itself.
Right.
But college has gotten so inflated in the tuition prices
Right.
where the job market is so deflated. There's like
Right.
no jobs, like guaranteed job security anywhere. So you're not guaranteed to make your investment back at all. In fact, it's really slim chance that you
Well,
make
there's
your
no
investment
guarantees
back.
in any investment, right?
That's true. So I'd rather invest in the thing that, like, unless you're die hard on the career path
Yeah.
you want,
Yep.
don't invest anything yet.
Yeah.
And
You
wait
can
until
wait.
you know what
That's
you
a-
want to invest in.
That's a good point. You could wait. Like, not everyone necessarily has to go to college right at graduating high school.
And it's like they're expecting these kids to choose your life path right after high school. Like you just
With
lost
no
your virginity
experience.
like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
and now
with
we're
no
trying to figure this out.
experience.
You just had prom. You still look like you. And then I remember when I was 17 years old, and I was kind of lost. I was about to graduate, so I posted on my Facebook, and I had a lot of older peers. I was like, "Hey, I have a question to ask you guys. Did you go to college? Are you using your degree now?" And was it worth it for you? And literally, I think like 9 out of 10 answers was, I went to college. My degree is just collecting dust, and my career now has nothing to do with my degree. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is a waste of money, and they're still in debt. I know attorneys that I'm making more money than because they're still in debt from school.
Same.
Yeah.
Like I know.
But attorneys are most likely to make a fucking $1 million a year later on down the road. So I don't feel bad for attorneys.
So it's just more like if you're going to go to college, it has to be for a very specific, like you definitely need college to be an attorney.
All the STEM stuff is very, very necessary.
But like, so let's say, my sister-in-law is a veterinarian.
Yeah.
So she needed to go through a lot of schooling, like all the medical schooling to become a veterinarian. So the more schooling, the more debt, right? And she still hasn't paid off her student loans, and she's like has a family, a house now, and like they're basically paying almost 3 mortgages to pay for both of their students, because her husband is a professor, and so he had to get a PhD. And so they're like spending so much money just on repaying that debt, and they make a 6-figure income, but their take-home pay is like $30,000 a year because after taxes and paying off student loan debt, it's just, is it a good investment?
No. And you know what makes me pissed? It makes me upset because as in the Latino community, our parents are immigrants and we're literally told, go to college, go to college, go to college, because then you're going to have something guaranteed.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we're pushed to go to college and we get these degrees in business, communications, like useless degrees. I'm sure there's people out there doing great with them, but the vast majority of people are not using their degree for that. And they think that by having this paper, it's going to be like walking into a place and being like, look at my degree, can I get hired? And you don't.
Because
and
it used to be.
upsets me. I know, but it upsets me because I'm like, you're literally getting into so much debt and you're letting these 18-year-olds get like thousands of dollars. Me as a 30-year-old, it would be so hard to get like an $80,000 loan for anything, but they give it to an 18-year-old for school because they know that
They can lock you in.
Yeah. And then there's people who literally have been paying for years and they still haven't even made a dent in their, what is it called? In their debt.
Because you know what public schooling doesn't teach? Finances, actual finances. So people don't even know because that's just the path that's been carved for them already.
Yeah,
to think that's what they're supposed to do. But Sam came from immigrant families, and back in the 80s, maybe that was true. Like you get a degree.
Yeah.
It also didn't cost as much to go to school. You get your degree, and then you did have some job security out there to use your degree with. It's not the case now. We're still living off antiquated lifestyles, and that's just not. It's not how the world works right now.
I know. And it's so sad because then you see like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds now, and you're like, man, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, I don't know what to tell you to do because college was a great experience for those classes where there was critical thinking and you got to have so many different opinions. And I learned a lot about myself by going to college for the time that I did. But one of the best decisions I made for myself and my career, looking back now, was walk out of that school when I did. You know, there's no way I could have known that I was going to be here back then, but in my heart I just felt like this is not the place where I need to be. And I wish there was a way
would be able to kind of figure that out, I guess, if they think about their life. I think kids are better now because they've taken all the lessons from our generation and Gen X or whatever, like the generation just above us and us, the millennial generation. So I think Gen Z is
more aware
of a lot of stuff, and then so by the generation after them, I think they're going to be even further aware.
I will say though that we live in an information age, so even if you do drop out of college, I am super huge on continued education, like lifelong education. Like you should always be learning, and especially when you do find the thing that you want to do, like go hard on it, get coaching, get into a conservatory program, go into a technical school or whatever it is, like to really hone in on like what your passion is.
I will say though, I mean, I have a master's degree and I don't regret it. So for certain people, obviously college is still the direction that they need to go in, and the degree is still the only reason why I'm going to get the job that I can get is because I have that degree.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have a certain path, like obviously engineers, they need it, doctors, anything in STEM, anything math, science, anything related, like there's still value in that. So I feel like that's maybe a little bit of an unpopular opinion is like, some people do actually still value college.
True.
It's very popular to say, oh, don't go to college, you don't need it.
Oh, you think that's popular?
Yeah.
Because I still feel like I'm met with a lot of backlash.
In the culture now.
Maybe in LA. No.
The online, everyone's always like, oh, don't go to college, you don't need it.
I don't know.
Not in Mexican households.
I hear that a lot.
Not in Asians either.
I think maybe in LA it could be considered a popular
Everyone
opinion,
wants to be like in social media now, so they're like, oh, don't fucking go to college. Don't
every
worry
time
about it.
I've said, hey, make sure you really know what you want before you like really invest in college. I've gotten so much hate for it. I mentioned it on JK a certain amount of times. People think I'm bitter because I dropped out. I had a full ride scholarship and I dropped out. Like I didn't need need to get into student loan debt, and I still dropped out because it just wasn't the right thing.
Yeah.
But
it's not the right thing for everyone.
But I
That's
still get a
true.
lot of backlash, and I'm not saying don't go to college. I'm not bashing college at all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you really need to know that what you're studying and that you want
It
to
needs to be intentional
in that
Yeah.
field. Yeah.
But we need to not make technical jobs seem less
Yes.
cool. Because
Yeah,
like
like
you can make
trade
trade
schools.
figures in a
Yeah.
trade job. Like so
Exactly.
that's it. You don't have not everything has to be white collar work to be
Yeah.
worth it.
And I think everybody's different, you know, like school was hard for me. Like sitting in a place and studying for hours, never did that. Like literally I was
It's hard
C's
for
get
everyone.
degrees
It's hard
all the
for
way
me
through.
too.
I was going to school to play volleyball. Yeah. I was like, I fucking love volleyball. And if I need to get C's to play, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as that was taken out, I was like, oh shit, I actually don't want to be here. You know, so it's about realizing what works for you and what you want to do. So I admire people who have degrees because that shows that you have delayed gratification. Like you can
It's just
work
follow
towards
through.
that.
Yeah, it's just follow through.
But we need that, you know, we need people who go into
Yeah.
accounting.
Yeah.
We need people who become plumbers. We need
Right.
people who do everything. We need psychologists. We need people who go through these things.
It's a risk no matter what.
Yeah.
So the risk that I took was like, I dropped out to pursue acting full time, and it was like, that was a huge risk because obviously that's such a hard industry to make it in. And I didn't necessarily make it in acting, but I went full force on it. I went to a conservatory program and like paid for it. I was working 3 jobs to pay for it because my parents wouldn't support me because I dropped out of college. So I was paying rent, and I was really trying to make that dream work. And it was a huge risk. And so is college, but college isn't treated as the risk that it is. And I think that's the difference is that people see college as a guaranteed job, and it's really not.
And
I don't think they do anymore though.
They do.
Like who's they though? Because
Parents
everyone
that tell
you
that
to parents.
all of the millennial generation and all of the generation below us, none of them see college as a guaranteed thing. Because we all lived through the 2008 crisis. A lot of people in our generation got a degree right through 2008 financial crisis, and all of them fucking didn't get jobs.
Because although the like young parents I know that have their kids, they still have college funds set up for them. They still want them to go to college,
people
but
do
maybe
that.
not get
I forgot about
into.
But a lot of them too have college funds set up, but they'll also allow their kid to use that for other things too.
That
I
would've
think
been
like
nice.
school, they need to push trade schools more too.
Trade schools
Yeah.
definitely need to
Yeah.
be pushed way more.
Absolutely more.
Yeah.
Because I remember like growing up thinking like, oh, why would you go to a trade school? Like it always didn't sound, because people were
Sounded
like,
like the
who
second
wants to do
option.
that blue collar work and be
Yeah.
a plumber, be a electrician, whatever. And then when I grew up, I was like, dude, that's like good money.
Yeah, and there's some of the happiest people I know.
Exactly.
doing
Also,
that.
can you imagine not having contractors
Yeah.
and stuff that are good at their work in America? Like we need good
Yeah.
infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's
And
really hard to get an electrician to come over here
It's
because
really
they're
hard
busy.
to get a good one.
Yeah.
It's
And
hard to get
for-
good contractors.
For a lot of people like us, like we don't like schooling. We don't like studying and like papers and shit. Like my little brother hates school, can't focus, doesn't like it at all, but fixing cars, he loves it. So he
Yeah.
wants to go to school
Yeah.
for
Follow
that. and
your
it fulfills
passion.
we
him.
need
Yeah.
people that are good at mechanics and
Yeah.
shit like that too.
I think once you find your passion, just go hard on it. Like study it as much as you can, get better at it, keep improving, like master that craft.
I think it's easier to say that because we're like older, but at 19 you would have told
It's
me
scary.
that. And I would have been like, what the fuck is volleyball's my passion at
Yeah.
that point, you know?
Yeah.
And I took it as far as I could.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just take the time to find yourself.
Yeah.
And
Go to therapy.
yeah, definitely.
That's one thing for
Start
sure.
there.
I think our generation learned is going to therapy.
Yeah, well, this one is a little bit connected, so I guess we could just take a couple more minutes or a minute. This person said working a 9-to-5 job is not overrated. I enjoy structure, having weekends off, knowing at 5 p.m. when I clock out, I don't need to think about work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know
Some people
thyself.
like that. Yeah.
So that's where I was getting at with the like, oh, it's not cool to go to college and have a 9-to-5 anymore. Like that's definitely very much of a loud thing that I hear a lot as someone who did go all the way through to get a master's program and is going back into a 9-to-5. It does feel like now I'm counterculture or
Really?
something.
Because I think it was always cool. Like if you think back when we were teenagers, it was still cool to be like, I'm going to be an NBA star. I'm going to be a rapper. I'm going to be like an actor. Like it was still cool to not take the traditional route. Like that's what you're vocalizing. But the majority of people still did take the traditional
I think
route.
the only difference is that now being a vlogger is so attainable. Everybody has access to a camera and to YouTube. The difference with being an NBA player is that you had to work your ass off.
Yeah.
And those people are so talented and like their work ethic is
Top
insane.
1%.
Yeah, top 1%. Anybody can become
It's actual
a blogger.
talent, but
But they don't know how hard it is to be consistent on YouTube. Like,
Yeah, it's hard.
You have a YouTube channel and
sit
it's,
down,
you
LeBron.
gotta edit. Like they think
Yeah.
that just like you talk to a camera and then you just be at home all day. And it's like, no, like you gotta edit, you gotta be consistent, you gotta set a schedule. You have to be your own boss, which is oftentimes harder than
It is.
clocking into work and like you just do your job and then clock out. Like you have to set your own schedule and stick to it.
Yeah, I always get like comments from bitter old people like, "Oh, all you do is just sit in the camera and be pretty." It's like, dude, for all these years, we have to do everything ourselves. Our own marketing, our own ads.
And it takes a
our
lot of
own
work to be
everything.
pretty, okay?
It does,
You
okay?
get to get new boobs every couple years.
Yeah,
every
I'll
10
just
years.
say this. To your point, I left the 9-to-5 world because I was like, nah, fuck that. We're getting crazy up in here. Did this for 6 years, and now I'm like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
That shit is way too much.
Some people do need structure.
Yeah,
like
I
know
need
people who
structure. I
can't,
do.
People who can't like just be like, I don't know what I'm doing today. But for me, now that I am in a 9-to-5, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Where do you guys find time? Like, I have to take my cat to the vet. When do I do that? They're not open on weekends. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying
Can I
to
go to the
figure this-
bathroom?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this
you have
shit
to like
out.
hire people to do shit for you because
Exactly.
you're working all
so
day.
It's like it's a huge shift. Like for me, I've always been the free spirit. I sleep at fucking 5 p.m. if I want to, and then the shift to 9 to 5 is just so bizarre for me. I mean, I can do it, but it's strange, and it depends on what people like. It's some people crave structures and others don't. Like I talk to my friends, and they're like, "Gina, I'm so envious of you. You can go on vacations whenever you want. You can do like sleep in as much as you want." I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but grass is also greener. Your
is.
job security
It is.
Yeah.
there.
The grass
Yeah.
is
For
not
sure.
greener.
Taking a vacation is a risk here.
Yeah.
Like
I
I can
can-
do it, but
Yeah, like you're not gonna get like I can fuck up somewhere and my career is gone.
Yeah.
You're like you know your job's there
Yeah.
tomorrow.
security part of it. Yeah, that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't see myself trying to compete with these young kids now. Like social media is a young person's game. Me trying to think about competing with these kids into my 40s and my 50s, I'm like, I can't.
oh, I don't
fucking
think of
do
it as competing. Like I'm like, oh, I like the niche that I'm in, and I really don't even care to be relevant because then you're like you're thinking of the kids that are like huge. It's like, yeah, well, they appeal to a general audience of teenagers. Like I'm appealing to this group of people that's into these things, and that's all I care about. Like I like making content for them, and I resonate with it, and it's like a back and forth, and I really like the community.
Yeah.
And as long as that stays or it starts to evolve and I'm never like getting bored or stressed out about it, then I'm pretty happy with the ups and downs there. I will say though, having so many people's opinions of you constantly
That's fucking
is
hard.
really hard for your
the
mental
worst.
health.
That is so hard. That's probably the hardest thing about social media, and maybe it's an unpopular opinion because since a lot of people haven't experienced it, because in your real life people talk shit about you behind your back, and maybe you hear about it, maybe you don't, and
Most
you're
of
just
the time
like,
you don't hear about
and
it.
you're just like, oh, Sally's a bitch because she's a two-faced bitch. Here you're constantly reading what people think about you, what you do wrong, what you do right. It is
also when they have
very
limited
emotional.
information, so a lot of it's wrong too, and you want to be like,
Yeah.
no, that's not right.
You want to correct them, but then
Yeah.
makes it
It's-
worse.
I think-
really strange like doing the other way around because I find myself at the 9 to 5. I'm like, so who answers what question? Who's my boss and where do I go to? And who are you people? Like what's an executive and what's that? But then like when we're shooting, like what I usually always do, it's like I have one point person. I know exactly who to go to, and it's a very structure is very strange for me. Yeah.
I feel that. I don't think I would ever, you guys, before I started on social media, I got fired from every single job.
Whoa.
All of them.
Really?
All
Where
of
have you
them.
worked before?
crazy.
I worked at Borders Bookstore, my first job. Then I worked at Yogurtland. Then I worked at Best Buy.
What did they fire you for?
Yeah.
Your attitude?
No, not my attitude. So Borders closed. It was a bookstore.
Yeah.
And then Yogurtland fired me because I'm just not good at doing things I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I'm really not. And like with my job, like my jewelry company, like my YouTube channel, I am on it. I'm good at it.
You're passionate
I'm
about it.
structured. Yeah. Like I have things working. One time I got fired from Best Buy because my sister was also working there and a customer got rowdy with her. And I was like, you're not going to talk to her like that. So they fired me. So, I mean, it's
Worth
just,
it.
yeah, it was worth it. But life, it's literally going to take you where you're meant to be.
Yeah.
I could never see myself in a 9-to-5. Not saying I can't do 9-to-5 work, you know, I do it for my business, but sitting somewhere for that time feels very restricting to me.
Yeah.
But there are people who love and want and need that, and those people are needed.
Yeah.
You
I also
know?
have a problem with with authority, like, or when someone's above me, but like
Right.
they're not like better at their job or they're bad at their job. And then they're like correcting me I just can't handle it. And I feel like I would get fired for not being able to follow the rules or like follow what they're telling me to do.
I think I found a good middle ground because even though it is 9-to-5, it's something I'm passionate about.
Yeah, you're so great.
Yeah, it's so funny. Right when I'm sorry, this popped into my head, but when you said Borders, I was like, man, she was probably the best restocker for the top shelf.
What is she supposed to
Tell her
do with
she's tall.
that?
I didn't say she was
What is
tall.
she supposed to do with that information?
No, I was like, you're great at restocking.
Some people
I didn't
need
say
ladders.
she was tall. I
There
didn't
was
say
a
it.
ladder.
Don't.
There was a ladder.
Some people are the ladder.
Some people are the ladder, and if you want to climb a tall glass of water that's so sexy,
There you go.
something like that. Our next sponsor is Dipsy. Everyone needs an escape, but those can be hard to come by now. Enter Dipsy. Let yourself get lost in a world where good things happen and where your pleasures is the only priority. Dipsy is an audio app full of short, sexy stories designed to turn you on. Each Dipsy audio story features characters that feel like real people and immersive scenarios, so you feel like you're right there. Listen to stories about hooking up with your hometown crush that you never made a move on, or that coworker you've always had a thing for, or maybe a story that puts you to bed with someone who's telling you exactly what they'd like to do to you. Oh my.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe this is
No fingering.
This sounds
though,
like porn
okay?
for girls.
Yeah.
It is porn for girls. That's what it sounds.
Yeah.
If I ever
Sexy stories.
If I ever fail in my career, I'm applying to work here to read sexy stories because that sounds fun.
That's a 9-to-5 you could get behind.
Yeah, right. They release new content every week, so there's always more to explore, no matter who you're into or what turns you on. And if you need to wind down, Dipsy also has wellness sessions, sensual bedtime stories, and soundscapes to help you relax before you drift off. Dipsy's starting to sound like a really good boyfriend.
Yeah.
Wow. He doesn't just want to
Take care of you.
turn you on. He wants to take care of you.
care of
That's
your
really
needs.
nice. For our listeners, Dipsy is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/mood. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/mood. Again, that's dipsystories.com/mood.
You got a dirty mouth and you got to clean it.
But right before I go to bed with my dirty stories, of course, I have to brush my teeth. And our next sponsor is Brush, an electric toothbrush that I've been using lately. It's really cool. It's an all black matted black toothbrush.
Yeah, it looks like it's from the future.
The bristles are black too. It just looks
Yeah.
really cool. And the base itself is like this crystal cut looking thing. And I've been using it a lot. And tonight we're staying over at Nikki's spot. So
Slumber party.
I brought it with me. Brush has 6 unique modes to customize your brushing experience. It's a 4-week battery life. There's a magnetic charging stand that's really cool and a really cute compact travel case. There's a subscription program so you never forget to change your brush head again because you're supposed to change it out. I've seen some really disgusting brush heads that are flattened out.
Oh, yeah, dude.
The
I
frat
used to-
boy flat out toothbrush.
I replaced Steve's toothbrush because of that, and he hadn't replaced it in like a year. And he got mad at me for throwing away his toothbrush. I'm like, it's not even cleaning your teeth, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's just the plastic part. It's,
Yeah,
the
it's like
bristles are all
completely-
split
yeah.
open.
Okay, keep that toothbrush.
With the subscription program, Brush ships you a new replacement head every 6 months, so you're never stuck using a worn down brush head, Steve.
Steve.
The design is also really slick. Brush's electric toothbrush has a modern, aesthetically pleasing design. It comes in seasonal colors and looks great on your bathroom counter.
Does.
You can now get 15% off your Brush toothbrush kit and refill plan when you use the promo code MOOD at Brush.com. That's 15% off using the promo code MOOD at BRUUSH.com. It's like brush, but with 2 U's. Once
Like you're
again,
from Europe. Brush.
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 I brush
Brush
my
your
teeth.
teeth.
Brush my teeth. Once again, go to Brush.com and use MOOD for 15% off your Brush toothbrush kit and a refill plan. Brush.
Yeah.
Sounds Russian.
Brush.
Brush.
Okay, we got some time for a couple more. I'm trying to find a good one. This one made me kind of go, This person said their unpopular opinion is that negative communication, such as yelling, etc., is still better than zero communication or just a lack of communication in your relationship?
That really depends. Because culturally, sometimes it sounds like people are yelling, but they're just communicating. Like I was raised by a Greek lady, and she used to always they used to always get in fights with her daughter, and they were like, no, we're not fighting, we're just communicating. But it sounded like they were yelling at each other. But like verbal abuse is never okay. So if someone's like actually yelling at you and like verbally abusing you, like
I don't know what's best, the silent treatment or getting
it's a toxic
yelled at.
relationship either way, so get the fuck out.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be in that, but the silent treatment is really damaging.
Yeah.
Really damaging.
Oh, I don't fuck with that at all. Like
Me
we're
neither.
not 8 years old. If you're doing the
Yeah.
silent treatment, I'm not dealing with that.
So if you had to pick like one of the two, which one would you pick?
I
Silent
would
treatment?
rather argue and
I'd
yell
rather
through
be
it.
Me
single.
too.
Yep.
I would rather yell.
Yeah, I pick single.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but if it
Yeah.
wasn't an option, I mean, you should be single.
It's always an option.
I guess like, yeah, yelling as long as it doesn't come down to like degrading or name calling or anything, because definitely Steve and I like our tone gets louder, like our volume gets louder if we're in a heated argument, but it's never like, we never say things that are tearing the other person down.
Right.
It's just trying to get your point across, and like you're just getting emotionally heated, so it's coming out louder.
Yeah.
That seems kind of normal communication though, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's
I can
normal
relate to
as a
that.
human to talk, and maybe sometimes you raise your voice just to get your point across, as long as it's not damaging.
Yeah, but
So-
if it's like, fuck you,
but
fucking
it sounds
bitch,
like
then
she's
no.
This
Get
person
out.
is saying negative communication is better than none. I don't know.
Neither are good. It's like two opposite ends of a toxic
Yeah.
spectrum.
I think negative communication, I would, as opposed to silent treatment, maybe sometimes the silent, like not talking about it and just like stepping away in silent and not whatever is better than hearing, fuck you, you stupid bitch.
But if
I hate you.
anybody's speaking to you that way, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you're speaking to anybody that way, you need therapy.
Exactly.
And if the
Because-
silent treatment is just like gathering your thoughts, then it's not necessarily
The
like
silent
a tactic. Yeah, it's not the silent
And you
treatment.
have to communicate. I'm going to take a couple
Yes.
minutes. I'm going to take an hour. I'm going to take, a day to think about this. But what I mean by the silent treatment is literally when they stonewall you and they're completely just like, if you're sitting here talking to me and I'm just like watching TV, that's
yeah.
toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah. You shouldn't be in either of those situations.
No, those are both abusive
Yeah,
situations.
I would say just entirely exit or seek therapy first. But if it doesn't get better, entirely exit. I don't think something's better than the other. Like, why are we picking?
Right.
Why are
Yeah.
we picking toxic situations to stay in?
If you're a grown ass person,
cheating is better than stealing.
Yeah.
But cheating's
Just like just get out.
I know he stole money from my wallet, but at least he didn't cheat on me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If you're still doing a silent treatment as an adult, you're a little bitch. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're fucking 7 feet tall with a Glock. You're still a little bitch.
That's definitely, dumb.
Yeah.
I can't relate to anybody doing the silent treatment.
And if you can't argue without insulting someone, you're a little bitch too. Grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just we all have how we have love languages. We also have the way in which we fight.
Yep.
And if somebody is attacking who you are as a person, let's say if we're fighting over the fact that this is here, like these bottles are here and I don't like them, but you do. If I go to attack your person, I am then getting closer to the end of the relationship.
Right.
Because then it's not the bottles that are bothering me. It's the lack of control I have over you, over the situation.
You don't
over
like those
what-
bottles where you fucking idiot?
Yeah,
You stupid
that's
bitch.
abusive.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I hope if anybody's getting spoken to that way, you realize that you shouldn't be ever getting spoken to that way. Because you can fight, you can argue, but I have never called my boyfriend out of his name. He has never called me out of his name. Yeah, we get loud because you're passionate about the topic. And even then, he'll be like, we need to take some time off because you're screaming. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
That pisses me off more.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you're right and I hate it.
Yeah, but there's never a lack of disrespect going at the person.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's actually Gottman, the Institute of Gottman, did
Yeah.
a study that have you guys talked about this?
No, we talked about it on our other podcast.
Oh, okay. So they can predict the Gottmans, they're a couple of therapists, they're married, and they said they can predict by looking at a couple if they will be divorced depending on the way in which
they
they
have
argue.
a 90% accurate
Yeah,
accuracy
so they
rate.
have
I read that, yeah.
the horsemen of the apocalypse. So these four things will determine if your relationship will survive. One of them is stonewalling, so the silent treatment. The other one is when you are in fights, when you're attacking the person instead of the issue. So instead of me saying, I really don't like the fact that you leave your socks there, it's like, you freaking disgusting pig. Why do you always leave your socks there?
Yeah.
What are the other two? Do you guys know them?
Wasn't there the kitchen sink one? I learned this in my brief time in college. Like I took a class that was interpersonal relationships and we went over these, but I feel like one was like, it's called kitchen sinking, where you just throw all of your past like resentments of this person and you just start throwing, you just throw in all like, and that one time when you cheated on me and then you like lied during this time and so that was one of them.
And like if you keep bringing old issues up. Yeah, you guys should definitely look it up, especially if you're in a relationship, because I always keep it very present in my mind, you know.
They also did this study where they, Tiff?
So criticism, so if I critique who you are, contempt is, they call this when you're just like, let's say Jess keeps doing something that keeps bothering me, and instead of talking about it, I'm like, well, it's just the way she is. She's never going to change. You know, you're just contempt with it. You're just like the rolling of the eyes.
Well,
It's morals.
Attacking sense of self with the intention to insult. Contempt is that one.
Oh, what is it?
Attacking sense of self with an intention to insult or psychologically.
So that's the socks, the dirty socks one.
Yeah.
Defensiveness is seeing yourself as a victim.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the other one, defensiveness, is, let's say if you keep telling me, oh my God, like you're always leaving your stuff everywhere. And I'm like, well, you always do this and that. It's always my fault. Why do you always have to point it at me? You know, instead of saying, instead of saying, you know what, I am sorry that I keep leaving my stuff everywhere. Like I'll start being more tidy around the house. So those four things.
It's a really good article.
It's
I think everyone should read that.
And they did this thing called, I forget what they called it, but it was like thin sampling or something, where they took like thin slices of people's arguments, and just from the compilation of like thin sound bites that they had, they were able to predict if the couple would make it or not.
That's wild.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Let me throw in one last one. It's definitely a strong one.
Oy.
Okay, unpopular opinion. Our triggers are our responsibility. For example, you can't attack someone for sharing their own trauma online because it triggers you. Everyone has a right to deal with trauma in their own way, unless it involves attacking someone, obviously. The internet is triggering, and we all know when we decide to get online. So to say if a video is triggering, you feel upset enough to attack the creator, you probably shouldn't be on the internet and should seek counseling.
Yes, I feel like, because I see this a lot on TikTok all the time, I feel like if someone were to add a trigger, it doesn't like a trigger warning, it doesn't hurt. That's awesome for doing that. But if someone doesn't do it, you can't just attack them. Be like, how dare you? Like, you should really put a trigger warning, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm not responsible for you. The world doesn't come with trigger warnings. I remember I posted something like, we did a skit where like I was like a drunk mother, and somebody posted, you should really put a trigger warning for that, because there's some of us who grew up with drunk parents and it triggers us. I'm like, and a part of me is like, I kind of want to empathize with you, but another part of me is just like, shut the fuck up. The world doesn't work that way.
It happened a lot with comedy, because the way that I would write sketches and like do stand-up is I'm writing from things that triggered me, that traumatized me, that like I'm getting out in comedy form. It's like I'm taking something dark and turning it light. I'm making fun of my own
responsibility for it.
Yeah. But then people would be like, why are you making light of this issue? You know, because I did one sketch on depression, and people were like, you're like adding to the stigma by making light of depression. I'm like, no, I have depression and it's terrible, and I'm making light of it because it makes me feel better. That's how I deal with it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's my coping mechanism for it. You choose your own. Maybe yours is therapy, but it's hard.
Really dislike that whole like yelling at people for not putting a trigger warning.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, okay, I see there are legitimate things, you know, that can trigger people. I understand that. But I have been noticing people complaining about even just like the smaller things that are triggering them.
What?
Like I said, the drunken acting one, there was one, you really should put a trigger warning for mouth noises.
I think
First of all, bitch, fuck you.
Person has to be joking.
No, like these people are dead serious, you know? And it's just,
Why do you guys think that is?
Can they never watch movies? Because what if something happens in there? That
I think it's because there's a victimization, like kind of like I want to feel like
you get
there's
clout-
some people
you
who
get
just
clout for
love
it.
that feeling, you know, like baby me. I'm different because
I'm
I want
special because
Yeah.
I went through that trauma and
Yeah.
now you're bringing it out
Yeah,
for me.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they want to feel that
Yeah.
way.
So then how do you define what should have a trigger warning and what shouldn't? Because for example, if you're going to talk about, like I watch a lot of true crime and they always say, warning, we're going to be talking about this crimes, this happened. If this is triggering to you, please exit, right? So to that, I'm like, okay, cool. So then who are we to decide and who decides what deserves a trigger warning and what doesn't?
I have an answer. I think if you're talking about a serious topic, like let's say I'm going to talk about suicide and then I give a suicide trigger warning and I'm going to talk like detailed about it.
Yeah,
like
the steps
that's
leading
gonna,
up to it.
Yeah.
like
and it's
painting
going to
a
get
huge picture.
Exactly. And it's very visceral. Yeah. If you're tuning in to watch a comedy sketch, like it's comedy.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
You don't get a trigger
exactly.
warning. Like,
Exactly.
sorry, you didn't click on this thinking it was going to be a serious discussion topic. It's just something that like people are making fun of or bringing light to, or, you know, trying to make people laugh from a source of pain, which is what comedy is. In all sitcoms, the person you're laughing at is going through pain. Like the main character is usually, it's painful for them. It's funny for us.
Yeah.
And that's what comedy is. And so if you're going to click on it,
It's usually a lot lighter too. Like it just kind of
Yeah.
like it's a little brush of like this happened or whatever. It's
not just
to
like,
set
it's not
up
this
a
whole
joke.
picture.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's
You know what's kind of interesting? So the other day I posted a TikTok and it's kind of like damned if you do and damned if you don't, because I don't know if I could say the R word, like what happens to girls. I could say it here on the podcast.
If you just want to say R word, just
Okay, I'll just say R word. Yeah.
we know what that means.
Okay. So I was talking about that because this girl, it happened to her. So I wanted to share it and like talk about it. And so I said the R word. I was like, oh, she was R word. And these people, instead of saying what they are. And then this girl said, why don't you just say, and then she said the word. She's like, saying the R word and what is it called when you
censor it.
yeah, and censoring it. She's like saying the R word and censoring it takes its power away. And somebody else commented and was like, you know, I'm glad she's doing that because I'm a victim and this is triggering and it's a serious topic. So it kind of left me a little bit confused because I was like, what do we do? Like, do we actually say it and put it all out there, or are we mindful of the fact that people have been through it? You know,
That's an interesting, that's a fine line, I think.
Yeah.
I don't even have an opinion or answer for that
right.
one.
And it's hard. And the reason why I censored it, because I would say it, but I know that TikTok would take down things that are talking about that, just like YouTube would flag you guys if we said it here. So I think it's one of those things where you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that as creators, we just have to be like, well, I did my best.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Exhausting.
there's it's definitely hard because there are some things that deserve a trigger warning.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Like,
they're-
I think the more extreme stuff.
yeah, the really, really extreme stuff.
Yeah.
for
The more
sure.
in-depth.
And
like,
also,
Exactly.
serious
I think these people would say, who are you to say what's extreme for me and what's not?
yeah, it's hard to decide.
Yeah.
'Cause obviously,
Well, how are you going to make it through life if like the non-extreme things are going to be triggered? Like you're just
Exactly.
not going to be able to watch any movie, any
Yeah.
TV show, anything. I mean, for me, and I don't know why this is, but like I can't watch violence like at all. Like I can't watch the news. I can't watch like even boxing matches.
Oh, wow.
I don't like when people are getting physically hurt.
Yeah.
And so even in movies when someone gets stabbed or like they're fighting, I have to like cover my eyes, but I don't expect the world to not
to cater
Do
to
it.
that.
yeah, like if we're gonna watch a movie, like, and I'm sensitive about that, I'm just gonna go like this during it, or I won't click
Yeah.
on news videos. I won't click on things that I know are gonna trigger me.
Like you can censor your timeline.
Yeah.
And dislike a video or block the person who's
Yeah.
posting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think we're a different generation. And I know that the Gen Z generation has said how we say that they're babies and stuff, but I think it's just everyone's different and it's a different way in which we have grown up and we're just all trying our best.
Yeah. It really comes down to, listen, if you have those triggers, you're responsible for it. You can't go into someone else's space and tell them what to do.
Yes.
You can't be like, oh, I don't like violence, and you go on a page called ikillpeople.com and you just yell at them like, how dare you?
Or you go to a boxing match and you're like, end the violence.
Exactly. Like, you're putting yourself in that situation and you have no one to blame but yourself.
Yeah.
I have we're gonna need to wrap up pretty soon because we've almost reached our hour, but I did have a final one that I kind of wanted to interject because I think it's like kind of following. I had a discussion with someone who follows me earlier, and I posted a meme that said something about what is looked down upon when you're poor, but is cool when you're rich. And it's that meme. I think everyone's kind of probably seen it by now. It's like when you're poor, like not paying your taxes, doing drugs, like all, like it lists like all these things. Speaking two languages, like all that stuff is like gross when you're poor, but cool when you're rich. And then so I added to it. I said, well, I think doing drugs is also trashy when you're rich. Like I don't think that being rich or poor, drug use is cool in any way. But then this person messaged me and was like, well, I think you should take into consideration the shame that someone might feel if they're a drug user, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And I was like, so my unpopular opinion is I'm not that worried about other people's shame. Like, and I also think that shame plays a role in society in making people do better. So like in certain circumstances, we use shame as a way to make things better, as in like the Me Too movement. Like we've used shame to shame men from that shitty fucking behavior that they were doing in all of the workplaces. So now they're all kind of like leaving us the fuck alone now. Sometimes the online shaming shit when people are bullying up and gathering on people and dogpiling and, you know, just all that stuff. Like I can see places where that's not good. Not everyone deserves to be piled on with shame, but like also if I make a meme and you feel ashamed because you're a drug addict and I hit something in you, I personally don't really feel responsible for your shame.
And
like
you're not.
No.
We're not responsible for anybody's feelings. But they like to hold creators accountable because they don't want to hold themselves accountable for their own feelings.
Or work through their own issues.
And
like, are you mad because I said it, or are you mad because you see yourself in it?
I mean, I feel ashamed when certain things hit me too, but like I just have to deal with it. Like, oh yeah, that's actually true about me. Wow, I feel ashamed, and you know what? I'm gonna try to do better now. Instead of like, oh, take that down. It's like, no, wait, I needed that mirror put up to my face. Like, consider that too. Like, why do we have to take down every single thing that might offend you because you're ashamed of your own behavior? We don't necessarily have to do that.
Put more effort into bettering yourself than getting angry at other people.
But that doesn't go for victims of
of course.
Obviously, this is just like sometimes your own behavior, it's like I don't need to censor myself because your behavior is bad.
I feel like anytime I've gotten angry at something, it's a moment where you can use that for self-reflection and like understand why you're getting angry at something. I used to do this exercise like when I was writing stand-up a lot. I would actually go through the day, and if I got angry at something, I'd write it down so that I can make jokes about it, because anger, sadness, any extreme emotions that something's making you feel, you should examine that and like understand why it works. And so I would come up with reasons of why I was feeling that way, and some of them would be funny, and that it would lead to like a stand-up bit. But for healing's sake, like to get through that, like understanding yourself is so important.
It really is.
Otherwise, you're just going to go through life being triggered at everything and not knowing why. And that's even more unbearable, I think, than at least understanding why.
And it's hard to talk about this because the right wing and political spectrum has taken over and been like, oh, trigger snowflakes. Like, I don't agree with that shit either. That shit bothers me when they're like, oh, you're such a snowflake. I'm like, shut the fuck up. There's room for discussion.
You can have empathy for people, and then also
so I don't want it to like people to put us in that box, like, but there is a middle ground.
We have empathy for you, just don't push it. That's just the thing. Just don't push it. Well, here's another trigger warning. We're ending the podcast right now.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
No, it's
so
really
I guess
hard.
it's a cliffhanger on like what Stacey and I agreed on that no one else did.
Oh, what was that? What? Why don't you just tell us?
What is this?
Because it's a whole discussion.
What was it?
What was it?
Tune in next month when Stacey's our guest
Oh my
all
god.
day.
No, they're gonna forget.
It's where if you're in a relationship, you don't have to be friends with the opposite sex.
Oh, no.
Whatever.
My opinion was, it's impossible to be friends with the opposite
Oh, I remember
sex.
this. Yeah.
And I still stand on that. I will down that hill.
And we will talk about it next month.
Make sure you guys like the video, give us 5 stars, thumbs up, or whatever
All
it
the
is.
stars.
And we'll see
Make
you
sure
guys.
you give me all the compliments on my eyelashes and Stacey all the compliments on her height.
and leave your unpopular opinion in the comments too, because I want to fight.
And go check out Stacey's Instagram on her YouTube channel. Go to her jewelry. And what was it? Support the podcast. How?
Go by going to our sponsors.
Go to our sponsors. to
Even if
support
you
our
even if
podcast.
you just go check out the website, even if you don't buy, it's great. Just like let them know we sent some traffic over there. Like, hey, maybe I'm considering a purple
Yeah.
mattress. I'm gonna go check out that
Yeah.
link. I'm gonna maybe use that code and
all
see
the
what
links
happens.
to everyone and everything will be in
Yeah.
the
Or
description.
comment on their Instagram. Be like, hey, we saw,
You
on
at
the
Big
podcast.
Mood. Yeah. Anyways, thanks guys for watching.
Love you.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.